Now, the other thing you could do is, as Stephen approaches me, if you've got one or two guys, you might go, you might feign fear. Like if I've got two guys, so Thomas here, if I got two guys and they're triangling me, I might go, oh Jesus, yeah, boom, then attack them. So you might, so I'll come back to that later on, one more advanced training. So deterrence and shouting wrong is not the only strategy. But I'll tell you one strategy that doesn't work, begging. Two lads come in, oh please don't hurt me.
Just look at me, man.
Yeah. Do you think, is that going to work? The two guys got down line, oh Jesus, please don't hurt me. What do you think that's actually going to do? I think it's going to encourage. You're feeding. You remember 2 or 3 people who corner a person down the thing, down in the laneway in the street, and who are going to hurt them. They have no morals. They have no empathy. People don't do that to people. People who do that, you're feeding them. You're feeding their egos, and you beg and you plead. That's just what they want. They're not going to go, oh, we'll just give you a couple of taps. It's going to feed them. So remember, like begging is ain't the strategy. Like deterrence and subterfuge, and we maybe talk in the advanced training, we talk about subterfuge. But for the moment, the big idea is the hands up, understand the no tripwire, and then once the no tripwire is breached, you want to basically start to, you want to deter them and drive your own adrenaline up, and basically have yourself ready so you can go into combat. Okay, but now we have a scenario. John, please, yeah. So how do we strike now? So if you see most people, where did you learn to fight? Where did we learn to fight, didn't we? Where did we learn to fight? School, sports, boxing, and a lot of people kind of have this idea of punching. We watch MMA and we watch the boxing, and you see punching. And yeah, that certainly it can work. But what I want everybody to do is just come over here to the wall for a second, please. Everybody just come over here. I'm going to look for a volunteer now in a second, right? Okay? So come in closer, because I'm going to need a volunteer. All right? Hate this bit. I hate this bit. Okay, so what I want now is for someone to punch the wall. Punch the wall. Punch the wall as hard as I just hit it there. Okay, this is obviously a smart class because no one set up to punch the wall. Right? If you did go to punch the wall, I wouldn't let you. Unless I didn't like you, okay? But assuming I liked you, I wouldn't let you. Why wouldn't I let you? Because you're going to break your hand. So this is something that most people don't understand. So if you think about punching, and we see this glamorous kind of sense of the magic punch, the sweet Rocky type punch. But if you ever watch even most boxing matches, there's an awful lot of missing going on. There's an awful lot of bad punches landing. And remember, people who box, and again, I'm not in any way dissing these guys. These are superb athletes. It's the people who train very, very hard. But that's who they are. Yeah. Athletes. Right? These guys train. They wear gear, and they condition and they oil their hands, and then they wear wraps and they wear gloves, and they have a different intent. You know what I mean? They're a different intent. So basically, if you think about landing a punch, there's so much you've got to do. Into land, you got to make that fist properly. You got to get that thumb into the right place, and then you got to make sure that you deliver it properly. You got to make sure that your wrist is aligned. And again, if you wrap it out, that's all there to help you stay that. And then you got to make sure that you hit with the right knuckles, that you hit with the right part. And then with all those knuckles, and then that well delivered wrist, and all that thing, then you've got to make sure you hit them somewhere that actually gives you a result. And at the same time, you've got to deal with the fact that this is bones and gristle. And there's not much difference, no insult intended to John, between landing on that and landing on that. Okay? So it's all very well to have that magic answer. Why throw a punch and John just tucks his head? Boom! Like you're dealing with a very, very different scenario. The other thing you do is you end up landing that punch wrong. You hit it half-assed. And so there's an awful lot to get right to actually get a punch. So what we're going to do, you punch Thomas. He's just going to look at you and go, is that all you got? Is that what you call a punch, isn't he? Look. So basically, all I know about Thomas, he's tough, and I wouldn't punch him when I punch him, and he just tense up and take it, no problem. All right, so basically what we got is, we don't like to punch. Everybody take their hand, and what you're going to do is take the heel of your hand, and then take the heel of your hand and hit your head. Now take the heel of your hand and put it on your nose. Okay? So what we're going to do, if we have to strike someone, we're not going to punch. We're not at the beginning. We are going to slam in with open hand strike in towards the nose area. That's basically our goal. And we're going to go, listen, I don't want any trouble. He keeps coming, bam, open hand strike. I'm going against the wall and give us a big smile, Thomas. And we're going to basically have a look at this open hand strike and see what you think. What do you think is going to happen if that lands on the nose? What do you think is going to happen? It's going to be messy, isn't it? It's certainly going to be messy. Okay, just come off the wall there for a second. It's going to be messy. Right, come in here, boom. It's going to be messy. It's going to, like, you know, anyone ever got hit in the nose playing a sport? Yeah, what happens? Eyes water, you're attacking the nervous system, you can't breathe. Like all of that. So when you get attacked in the nose, it actually attacks your nervous system. When you attack somebody's stomach, their jaw, if they're tense, you're just attacking the skeleton system. So we attack the nervous system, you can't put muscles on the nervous system. And what we do is we push off our back foot. We push off our back foot. And we keep our elbow tight where we have already. And now we drive it in. Drive it in. Okay, so everybody face the mirror with me. As everybody put the left foot forward just for the moment we're training. And put your hand out like a stop as much as you can. And you want to emphasize the heel of the hand, okay? Now I want you to turn your hip and reach as far as you can. So I want you on the ball of your toe, yeah? Reaching with that hand as far as you can. So that's where you want to end up. The idea is from here, we then want to reach out and turn. Okay, now the power actually starts in your foot. Most people start the energy for a punch in the shoulder, which basically gives it a lot of indicators and gives it a mile. We're going to turn off from our foot. So everybody do it with me. So what you're going to do is you're going to sharply push off your big toe, and you're going to turn your knee in. And that's all we're going to do, just turn your knee in. So the idea is here you're moving off your foot. That's a sharp. And now you got this energy coming through your body, Now our hands are up. So with this energy, we're going to turn, and then we're going to make sure our elbows are on our ribs as if we were holding a newspaper underneath our arm. And then we turn and we project that hand forward. And we turn right into it. So we have our hands up. Sorry, dude, I don't want any trouble. Have your hands up. Now you find yourself, you're having to strike and strive forward. The way to think about this is you kick this off your big toe. So think about your body as you're delivering a weapon. You're delivering a projectile. So your hand is the bullet. Your hand is the bullet. Your body is the barrel. Your big toe is the firing pin. So your firing pin that comes through, turning the knee in, the hip is dropping, you're creating a hydraulic energy, and the hand drives out. It's great if I get my footwork in. Brilliant, but you know what? Even if I don't get my footwork in, the open hand strike is going to give me something. With a partner, you're going to practice. Now, the most important thing you're going to practice here is proper technique for the moment. So I want to see you connecting with the right part of the hand. So the part of the hand, we want to make a hand like almost like we're holding a watermelon or like a pineapple. And we want to think about the pad of the hand. The pad of the hand. And what we want to do is to connect the pad of this hand. And our target area is the nose. That's our target area. Our target area is the nose, okay? That's the spot we're going for at the moment. So your hands are up. So what happens if I'm here, I don't want any trouble. He doesn't even throw a punch, he just grabs me. I strike. I'm going to strike. Emphasize kicking off from your big toe, turning that hip in, and then hitting the pad. And here's where the hard part is I only want you to hit with 10% of your power. The biggest mistake people make when they're learning something. Do you ever see guys who've never played golf before in their life? Ever seen that? Yeah. They've never played golf before and they go out to the driving range. They've never hit a golf ball in their life. What is the first club they're going to get? They're going to get the Big Bertha, but they're not just going to get the Big Bertha, they're going to get the Big Bertha and a double X platinum, aren't they? And they're going to weigh it up in their hand, aren't they? And then they're going to whack that fucker. And where's the ball? Totally safe, because you never hit it. The only people who are in trouble are the people beside them and behind them. Okay. You're going to start at 10%, do it 5 to 10 times each, switch, then bring it up to 10%, then bring it up to 20%, switch, then bring it up to 30%, and keep switching, bringing it up to around 70, 80% for training at the moment is enough. So remember, Adding it up, increasing the level of power, increasing the level of power. Let's bring up the power. Do you know what I found in training? It's very easy to hit a static pad. It's very easy to hit a pad with a target on it with a white dot there. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this together. I'm going to approach Maria, and what she's going to, I'm going to hide the pad now. I'm going to hide the pad, and I'm going to go up to her, and I'm going to go, "Hey, you doing there? Hey, what's the story? Cool. Oh, yeah. All right, so now we're going to, that was a good one. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it again. I'm going to, "How you doing there, young lady? How you doing? Hey, listen, I'm going to a dance later on. Do you want to come with me? Come on. Okay, so here's what you're going to do now. You're going to go in and engage with your partner. You're going to try and distract them. Hey, how's it going? Okay. What's your favorite, Tuesdays or tomatoes?" All right. And what you're going to try to do is distract them. And you're going to go, like, you know, Chenzi, how you doing? Come on, how you doing, Chens?
Good.
Yeah, you on holidays?
No.
You were on holidays?
No, I don't.
Why are you lying to me?
No.
Okay, so I want you to go in and have fun with this, yeah? All right, okay. Who was a bit disappointed with themselves? To be honest with you, on the first strike, yeah? Yeah, you're being unrealistic. You're holding yourself to the wrong level. You know, the problem is you think it needs to be clean. You think it needs to be expert. But the reality of it is, a real fight, a real violence is scary, is nasty. There's all sorts of chemicals going through your body. You're in an environment that could be stuff. You could have had a beer. Like you could be sick. Anything. It's the real world. So sometimes we hold ourselves to too high of a fantasy level. Okay, the reality of it is, the very fact that when someone gives you a fright, you act. You are already operating on another level. No, that's just our first strike. It's our fright strike. Now, if I go and I give Maria a fright and she just puts her hand in towards my face, and the shot may not go as well as you like. It may not land sweetly. It may not, but instead of like, because it's not a punch, because it's an open hand strike, she gets this wrong. Look what happens. It goes into my eye. She gets her nails into my eyes. She even scratches me with her face. She hits me underneath the jawline. So from here, that fright strike, because it's an open hand strike, it gives them much more options for catching. Some scenarios that could work, you know, you could be, the guy gets you get a hand in, and that's enough to deter him and to allow you to escape. Fantastic. Okay, and it's got you in, you got into the mindset, distracted them, you know, showing them that you're not going to be an easy victim, and maybe you can escape. And if with that, that gives you the space to escape, fantastic. Run like hell, get to reinforcements, the police, whatever, get to a weapon. Remember, the first goal of self-defense all the time is preventative. Second goal is escape. Escape, that's the purpose of self-defense. You know, I throw one strike, so it could be enough to give you escape, but sometimes, and oftentimes it might be enough. So what'll I do? So the truth is, I wouldn't rely on one strike. What I would be doing, I'd be going in, and I'd be pumping in. I'd be pumping in. And this is something I learned, believe it or not, from Bruce Lee. And as part of my training, I've trained in Jeet Kune Do. And Bruce Lee developed a concept called, and it's used by other systems, but Bruce Lee called blasting. Blasting is you fucking drive in, and what you're going to do is take forward momentum, drive them back. And we're going to drive forward with our open hand. Now think about what's actually happening. You're pumping with your lead hand. You're driving in. Maybe you're capturing the nose, but maybe you hit the nose one moment. Next time you hit the jaw and you're going underneath the jaw. Maybe think about what you're attacking. You're attacking the nose, maybe catching the throat, you may be catching the ear, maybe catching the eyes. All of these are the senses. And this time what we're going to do is the pad comes up, we're going to do 3 strikes. And we're also going to drive forward. So the pad, he hides the pad, he presents the pad, I strike. 3 strikes. Okay, go. So this time we're going to bring it up to 6 strikes. 6 strikes. 9%. And I want hard, pumping, driving back. And I'm going up and 6 strikes. I think that was 7. Anyway. Let's do it again. She's going to pump them in, right? It's all very easy when somebody's standing in front of you, giving you the pad. Now we're going to move around. Don't be looking. Okay, I'm going to move around now. I'm going to tap her. A bit slow there, wasn't she? A bit slow, yeah? I want you orientating and hitting the pad 10 times. Hard. So what you're going to do now, when you're waiting to be attacked, is you're going to close your eyes. Now, of course, I'm not suggesting you walk around the street with your eyes closed. But what we're actually just trying to do is to give you a little bit of surprise and almost often, to be very frank, a little bit of fear. So I'm going to move around and your eyes are closed. And when you get attacked, you're going to turn around and you're going to blast into that pad. When you get tapped and you feel a tap, you open your eyes and attack where that tap came from. If you hold, oftentimes a mistake people make is they'll hold their breath. So make sure to shout when you're doing this. Even if you just go, ah! You just do that. But at least makes you breathe, okay? And obviously gives them a fright as well. Okay, so let's go. The final trick for this module is to get home the whole idea of blasting. Blasting, and we're very different. Where this is not a thing where we just swap digs, or swap punches. We want to be driving forward. Remember, our job is to go home. Our job is to get away. If we could run away or escape or there's an exit, we would have taken it. But we're faced with the only way out is through them. We got to blast through them. We got to get in there and attack and make them want to get off it, get away from us, okay? Please, along with your back to the mirror, and the guy with the pad is on the outside. When I say go, you're going to hold that pad. You are going to blast that pad all the way across. You're going to drive them all the way to the wall. All the way to the wall. Go! Most of you, when you got to the wall, what did you do? You stopped. When you get to the wall, you keep going. You give them some bonus strikes. Go, go, go! So that's it for today. Remember, the bring it on mindset, owning your space, the idea of the no tripwire, open hand strikes, blasting with multiple strikes until you can get home. Okay, give yourselves a round of applause for the first module.